There's a new social network entering beta right now, and you can use it right now. You will not be censored politically. This is an open source and an open protocol, so that way you can post and not be politically censored. What's happening right now is incredible amount of censorship and deboosting is happening across so many incredibly major platforms for social media. And so it becomes incredibly important for news to come out, especially on the biggest issues that we face. The issues that we've been demanding for the recent many years is the Epstein files will come out. Deep State will be outed and can be dismantled. All the problems in the swamp in DC can be fixed. And whatever's causing the politicians to be controlled can be fixed. This requires free speech. And what's happening now is when the citizens that are talking about simple, non-political things, censorship and weather, then they're fine. But what's happening here is massive censorship is ramping up. Every single month it's increasing. And when you talk about the real big problems that we face, this censorship is reaching incredible levels. I've come from the Charlie Kirk investigation, and I've been shocked at how much censorship has happened as people have investigated and outed the truth, and the censorship has isolated them from getting the truth out to everybody else. What's happening here is when these most important issues that we face are being discussed, what happens is there's been a massive system that's incredibly powerful been rolled out on social media. And what it does is as people show up to talk, when they hit the real issues, the massive issues, and Iran war, we do not want American feet on Iranian soil. And these are very, very serious issues. As soon as you start to talk about these incredibly serious issues, what happens is you get often cut off and isolated as a hermit. You get gaslit to think that you are reaching people, but oftentimes you're only reaching your own followers, and sometimes only a portion of them. Posts may not reach at all the broad base of the entire country on the social media platform. It's segregating and turning into hermits the people who talk about the big, painful truths that we talk about. And it has it where this will lead to our nation having most people almost turn into NPCs, called normies, not because they're doing anything wrong, but because they're cut off from the truth and those who are investigating the truth on the biggest issues. And when this systematically turns them into hermits in these caves and does not let their words get out beyond a small cluster of their followers, then this becomes a massive problem. And we've been seeing this on the biggest issues that we face. So if you look at Mike Benz, the leader in investigating this government level censorship, the important thing that he has brought out is that the US government literally paid academics to do social studies to go find out that instead of completely censoring people to where they know it, it allows them to soft censor where they get to see enough or what they perceive as real people. That way they're gaslit. And so they might be censored and they may not even know it. And with that gaslighting, they've actually had academic studies to go find out how much you find the magical amount of gaslighting so the word does not get out to real people almost at all, but they get the perception that people are reading their posts. And so it's been something the government paid for, made us pay for, and they've been dialing that into the social networks. And so I'll go through the different areas. So for TikTok, people have been making complaints and about serious issues. Whether these are true or not, I'm sure you've seen firsthand on you may have seen and feel that these are all true also. Over on the Jeffrey Epstein investigation, for the last 10 years or so, people want to get the truth out, and so many people have made real serious complaints. And over here, on the Charlie Kirk investigation, where I've been focused on, I've seen that my accounts have been severely deboosted or nearly censored. So, and you can see an incredible number of people that I respect working on getting the truth out and documenting facts, that they have a lot of complaints. And I'm shocked at how massively broad this is across the people I respect in this space. And now the Iran war, people are saying this already, and this is a really important issue. So you're seeing complaints across the board, and there's just incredible number of people that should not be censored or deboosted or having their accounts taken away, or whatever's happening is just so severe to people that should not have this happening. Now, over on my own account, different things I've been able to measure on pretty great ways to see that there's real serious problems. I don't really need the monetization, but that's yanked away from me. And so, there are very hard indications on different aspects when these things are happening to your account. Over here is an incredible experiment I tried. And so here, X was saying that when you pay for a promotion of your post, that it costs $500, and they say that you'll reach 100,000 views or users based on paying for that. So I tried this out because I kept seeing my account is so incredibly deboosted or censored to extreme levels that I went off and paid this just to go give a test. So here it literally, I have a screenshot of them saying it's 100,000 you get when you pay. I paid, and I got 51 views. Talk about hard measurements. And they definitely didn't give my money back. And I did 3 of these tests. That was $1,500, and it was all about 51 views, when each one they were promising that's about 100,000 users that see your posts. So this, I've been able to measure it many different ways. Here's people saying that my posts just keep disappearing on them. And so what's happening is we all want to just find the truth and just out the truth. Washington, D.C. is a swamp. We want to out that. The Epstein files, we want the truth. When USAID was doing incredibly bad things, Elon Musk worked on trying to out all the problems with USAID, which is part of the U.S. intelligence community. And we, trying to be the same thing as Elon Musk, would complain that we were being censored. And then over here, the Charlie Kirk investigation, I'm seeing that across the board in a broad way when there's no reason this censorship should be happening. So over here, I was able to see this information handed out, and here are good people covering the same kind of things that Elon Musk would do when he went to DC. He would go out the truth on USAID. So here, the same exact thing happening on this account, and here is what we're getting out of social media. This is coming from them, and here's a clear label, deboosting. And here, when we talk about USA, that's part of the intelligence community. So when you're investigating real, true issues, and they're true and accurate, and you end up seeing that these reports have good people, and you literally seeing how they're labeled, this information is often not flowing out, but it was incredibly powerful when it was, because we can measure good people that should not be deboosted, and this is happening. And it's whenever you're criticizing intelligence community, whether it's in the United States or not, and you hit the hardest issues, it's incredible on how many good people have this happen. Now over here, people are seeing other accounts that would either say the Epstein files didn't exist when they knew it did, or they said that the Epstein files don't matter, and you shouldn't care that your children are going through these horrible things. And so most people that we know we probably wouldn't respect are we've seen this in the past where this ends up coming from the social media system, is they're showing that these accounts are often amplified and highly elevated to receive way more traffic. And so this is kind of shocking to our values, and I think most people might agree with that. And so what's fundamentally happening is because of proprietary. And so JFKSocial.com, which is now launched in beta, and this allows, because we're an open source and open protocol with social media, we solve these problems. What's happening here is on the bottom, somebody's posting the truth, hard-hitting truth that we need to have everybody see. On the top is the whole country that's on social media. And then what's happening with proprietary systems that becomes a bottleneck is they have a capability to go block that message. So the truth should be like a balloon full of air trying to fight aggressively to the top to reach the audience. This is the analogy that content is king. The truth should be king. This has been true when we had newspapers in the past, but because social media can have a bottleneck, we have a real problem here. This middle layer is exactly what JFK Social solves in the most fundamental way with open source and open protocols for the backbone of content in social media. That way there's many, and any one blocker can route around, that balloon could route around and get to the truth. Now, here shows other network traffic. If you look outside of social network, when you have the person sending the traffic on the right, and then the person who should receive it on the left, if it comes to other network traffic, like network packets, if some part of the internet was down or blocking or censoring, the packets would route its way around the planet, even the long way around the planet if needed to, in order to receive the recipient. Now, what ends up happening here is that when you have social media proprietary systems, they can have a single place to go put that censorship. You effectively have created this abnormal bottleneck, and this is what JFK solves. So in this case, when a censorship happens, even if one version of the platform of us, people are going to launch the open source other places, and it automatically has your social media post. The truth you post will just reroute around this mesh of social media relays. And so any one relay will just become useless and routed around, and your political message can still reach the audience. This is the breakthrough happening with JFK Social, and we're bringing this to you now. We ask you to support us. That way we can support you. And this is the way this works. There's more than one backbone. Right now we're launching with Nostr, and this ends up being a open standards, open protocol, open source backbone. And there's different clients, so you could have a different one for mobile network or a mobile phone app. And if you don't like one, you can move your account elsewhere. So you don't lose your followers. You don't lose the people you're following. You don't lose all your posts. You can sit there and just move your account because you are now king. You're not locked into one platform being the king of you. And what we're doing here is, if you don't like ours, you can move to somewhere else. We are making a open source social network platform that is just as great as X.com or Twitter. And that way you get all the brilliance of a modern best social network for political discussions. And we deliver that. And then you get the freedom where the platform does not become king of you. You become the king. And when you speak truth, you will not be censored. Now, down here, you'll see the backbones in the middle. We're right now launching with our beta, Nostr support on the left. If you look in the middle, Threads, we're going to have that support soon. We'll have Blue Sky and then Mastodon. So the Threads, 400 million people, and then Blue Sky, 40 million people. This is coming very soon to social JFK Social. Their posts you'll be able to see with us, and it'll be an incredible way to have a big community. And again, it's not your post. When you make a post, it'll go to all of them, and you will not be blocked by proprietary standards and lockup. There are, even on Nostr alone, there are many different rich mobile clients, and you can go use those, and you can use multiple at the same time. So JFK Social will be great for the laptop. We will also be great for your mobile phone on a browser. We do that way nobody can censor us from the iOS App Store or from the Android App Store. When we have no mobile app, they can't censor us. We're gonna make a top client, a top experience that you can scroll, see videos, have all the best experience on a browser, and then never be able to be censored. But you can also install mobile apps, and there's many there. If you don't like one, you pick the other, and your account is available everywhere, and you can use multiple, and you're always the same account. And this is the benefit of open standards. We'll be expanding this across Threads and other things soon. So with us, this is still in beta. We're still having a lot of work to do on this. But as you scroll through posts, we are going to show you the metrics of the social network. So you can verify how the feed works. You can see your own posts. You can see the exact scores on the posts, including your own posts. You can police that you're not being censored with transparency. And so we give you transparency. This should not be a breakthrough. It is, but it should not be a breakthrough. This is what you are entitled to. You are entitled to see transparency on the metrics of your posts. And we deliver this with JFK Social. We're in beta now. We have a far way to go. We're very simplistic in this now, and we're just getting started. But we will be making leaps and bounds over weeks and a month or two. And so if you come over here, this person has claimed they're censored or greatly deboosted. And if you look at the charts that are down below in black, that's charts that he presented. His numbers seem to really back that up. That basically almost a lever was pulled down. And so this is per somebody. When it comes to draining the swamp, the only way that's going to happen on both sides of both parties is that to push out the problem people in Washington, D.C. through elections, we have to have good people who are going to go run for office and win in primaries and be able to go replace any sellout politicians. And so here's this person, and they're working incredibly hard to be governor. And nowadays, social media is the only way to get there, especially when you're not getting money from lobbyists and other sellout systems. In this case, the only way to get there is social media, and he is showing hard numbers that's hard to argue if he feels like he's being not fully censored, but massively losing his audience. And that's his claim, and you can assess it for yourself just by whatever numbers he's posting and seeing the exact numbers here. And this is something we can only fix our problems in our country through elections, but that only works if free speech is allowed to allow good people to win, especially when they have less money in campaigns. And then this is true about both parties. This is not about any one party. JFK Social is great for people of both political parties and anywhere across the political spectrum. So this is a battle to prevent that our entire 90% of our nation could turn into NPCs, not because they're not great people, not because they don't care or they're not smart, but when the massive narrative control that happens on mainstream media is able and been ramping up to be just as strong on proprietary social networks, until you break that and with JFK Social, transparency, and open source, then you can move to the right with democracy, where we can out all problems. We can get great people to replace sellout politicians, and only then can we fix everything else in the country. Over here is very much realize you deserve to be with everybody. You speak, everybody hears you. But this is a reality for too many people, and they are working hard to feel like they can measure it themselves, even though the U.S. government spent so much money to gaslight them and to find out the thresholds to gaslight where it's hard for them to actually measure it. Here, come to jfksocial.com. We'll have a more advanced paid version launching in a month or so. We hope you pay and support us. You can use this for free. We are going to be working for the American people and across the planet. We are not going to be working for investors. We're not going to be working for other people with money. So we hope that you will support us and we can be that second base for you. This is kind of figurative, but having transparency is what you deserve. Mobile networks are great. And Martin Luther King changed our entire country. Nowadays, this only works if he could have access, and future people that would be about like him, if they can actually get their word out on social media. We're fighting for the most fundamental way to fix any problem in our country, and this becomes the news. The newspapers are kind of dying for the most part, and young people are not reading them like 80 years ago, and this is how the world works. With us, we hope you give us a try, and we are here to give you an audience that you're often denied before. So when it comes to the broad base of the country, to normies, if you're talking about serious stuff, you're often cut off, and it actually prevents you from having any follower growth among a very important part of the country. With us, we can grow you in that audience. And we could, even if you pair you up as us as your secondary network, we might bring in a massive number of new followers from a part that you're blocked from elsewhere, and they might come back and follow you on X or other main platforms. So us pairing up with whatever you use as your main platform could end up being very useful and very powerful. We hope you support us today, and we're here to support you.